Hello students, this is your chapter 2 revision from history part, and your chapter 2 is the new kings and the kingdoms. Let's have a quick recap of this chapter. So your first topic is the emergence of new dynasties. So many new dynasties were emerged after the 7th century. Landlords or warriors chief were acknowledged as Samanta by the existing king. So here Samanta means they were the subordinate to the kings. Behalf of the kings, they used to look after the regions, collecting taxes, looking after the regions. Everything is being done by the Samanta. So they were usually appointed by the kings, and generally they are the landlords. So as the Samanta gained the wealth, as they were having the power to collect the taxes, so they gained wealth also, and already as they were looking after the regions, they were also having the power. So they themselves declared as Mahasamanta, and even sometimes they asserted independence. They become free from the power of king and established their independent state. Rashtrakutas in the Deccan overthrew Chalukyas of the Karnataka. As I said, they asserted their independence also. So here Rashtrakutas were the subordinate of the Chalukyas of Karnataka. So they overthrew the Chalukyas and become the king of this region, Karnataka. In some cases, men from enterprising families used military skill to build kingdoms. So in past time it was necessary that the ruler should be from the Kshatriya family, as it was being divided on the basis of Varna. So there were certain purpose for the four Varnas. So only Kshatriya family are becoming the ruler. But in some cases, some men from the enterprising families, they use the military skill. If the person is having skill, then they can build their kingdoms, and this opportunity was being given by the ritual known as Hiranya Garbha. Later on we will study about that in the next topic. So Brahmins like Kadamba, Mayur Sharman and Harichandra took up arms and established kingdom in Karnataka and as well as in Rajasthan. They were actually Brahman, but they were having the skill of military to look after or to build the kingdom. So they established their kingdom. The Mayura Sharman established his kingdom in Karnataka, and Harichandra established his kingdom in Rajasthan. Administration in the kingdoms. High sounding titles like Maharaja Raja, Tribhuvana Chakravartin and so on were adopted by the new kings. As they were getting the more and more power, so they also themselves adopted the titles like the Maharaja Raja or Tribhuvana Chakravartin, the lord of three regions or three places. Now the king shared power with their Samantas, with their subordinate, as I said above, and with the association of peasant traders and Brahmins. So they were sharing their powers with Samanta, with the peasants also, with the traders also, and the Brahman also. States obtained resources from the producers as rent due to a lord. Revenue was also collected from the merchants. So resources were collected from whom? From the producers. So from the cattle keeper or those who are producing or those who are cultivating. So this was collected as a rent. Revenue was also collected from the merchants or traders who are usually trading in the regions. The king used these resources to strengthen his kingdom and for construction of temple, forts and to fight the wars. So the resources what they have collected from here, they were used to strengthen the kingdom of the king. They even though construct the temples, because temple represents the power and as well as wealth, and also the forts. After conquering the regions, the kings usually builds fort to mark their area, and even though these resources or revenues are used to fight the wars. Revenue collectors were recruited from the influential families, and these positions were often hereditary. So the influential family only gets the opportunity to become the revenue collector, and their position become hereditary, means after the father the son can become the next person or looking after the department of revenue collection. Prashastis and land grants. So prashasti means to tell about person, to praise a person. So prashasti tell us how the ruler want to depict themselves as valiant and victorious warriors. So here prashasti tell about the ruler, and the ruler depict themselves as a courageous one and the victorious one, never was defeated by anyone. So this was being mentioned in the prashasti of any rulers, and generally these are being composed by the Brahmins. So these records may not be true because it is exaggerated, but also provide the extensive information about the ruler and his administration. Grants of lands to the Brahmins by the kings were recorded on the copper plates. So behalf of composing the prashasti, the Brahman were given the grand land. So usually this kind of land which are given to the Brahmins were known as Brahma Deya, and the land which is given to the Brahmins were recorded in the copper plates. So along with the land, these copper plates were given to the Brahmins to maintain the records. Kalhana, a Sanskrit author, used a variety of sources like inscription, documents, eyewitness accounts and history in his work to write down certain details and to write down about the king. They usually go through various sources. So here one such example is given about the Kalhana, a Sanskrit author who used inscription, document, eyewitness accounts and history in his work. Next topic is warfare for the wealth. So dynasties were based in the specific region but tried to control other areas also. Usually the kings rule into one particular area only and to the specific region only, but they also try to control the other areas. So one such place is Kannauj in the Ganga Valley. That was the center of conflict between the Gurjara, Pratihara, Rashtrakuta and Palas for the dynasty. So the three dynasties were having conflict. They were fighting with each other to acquire the Kannauj. The long-drawn conflict is known as tripartite struggle, as the three parties were involved in it. So which are the three parties? Gurjara, Pratihara, Rashtrakutas and the Palas. Temples were common target during attack as they were extremely rich. As I said, these temples demonstrate the power and as well as wealth. So their idols were made up of gold, and many these temples were also a place where the kings used to keep their treasures. So usually whenever the rulers attack to any of the kingdom, they first of all they target the temple. So one such example is given over here. Muhammad of Ghazni raided the Indian subcontinent almost every year and targeted the wealthy temples like Somnath in Gujarat and carried away the wealth. So 17 times he has targeted India and he has looted the immense wealth. Al-Biruni, an entrusted scholar of Muhammad, wrote Kitab al-Hind in Arabic language, mentioning the detail about the Muhammad Ghazni. And other kings engaged in the warfare were Chauhans, who ruled region around Delhi and Ajmer. So Chauhans were generally known as Chaha Manas. Later they came to be known as Chauhans. Chauhans were engaged in conflict with the Chalukyas of Gujarat and the Gahadawalas of western UP. Prithviraj III, he was an popular Chauhan ruler who has defeated Afghan ruler Muhammad Ghori in 1191 but lost in another battle, that was in 1192. Our next topic is a closer look to the Cholas. So first, from Urayur to the Tanjavur, Vijayalaya belonged to a Chola family of Urayur, the place name it is. So he was the successor and conquered neighboring regions, and the kingdom grew in size and as well as power. The next ruler of the Chola dynasty was the Rajaraja I, another powerful ruler. He extended and control over the other areas. Then after him came his son, the Rajendra I. He conquered Sri Lanka and the countries of Southeast Asia and the region of Ganga Valley also. Now, how was their administration? The administration of the empire of Chola. Peasant settlements were called as Ur, which were prosperous with the spread of irrigation. Groups of villages were called as Nadu, which performed several administrative functions. Rich peasants of Velala caste exercised to control over the Nadu affairs, so they were considered as a chief. Titles like Muvendavelan, Ariyar, etc. were granted to the rich peasant by the Chola kings along with the important officers. So various important departments were looked after by the rich peasants and they were appointed by the Chola king. Association of the traders were known as Nagaram, and also they performed the administrative function in the town. Inscription also mentions about Sabha. The Sabha has a separate committee to look after the irrigation works, garden, temples, etc. So they were having the various departments to look after, and they were looked after by the various members. What were the developments? They have done the developments in these areas, agriculture and irrigation, and were having splendid temples and bronze sculptures also. So let's go through the agriculture and irrigation. Agriculture was well developed, and along with various methods of irrigations, forests were cleared and leveled and used for the cultivations. Embankments were built in the delta regions to prevent flood, and canals carried water to the fields because this Chola kingdom was situated nearby the Kaveri river. Wells and tanks were dug to collect the rainwater. So irrigation facility was best considered in the Chola dynasty. Next important development was in splendid temples and as well as bronze sculpture. Chola were constructing big temples. They were the big temple builders. Tanjavur and Gangaikonda Cholapuram are the architectural and sculptural marvels. Chola temples become a center of settlements. Produce from lands were used to maintenance of the temples. Temples become the center of economic, social and cultural life. So temple was not considered only the place to worship, but this was the hub for the economical, social and cultural development. Making of a bronze image, that was distinctive craft of this region, and it was considered the finest in the world. Hope you have understood up to here. If you want to go through in detail, then go through the videos which I have sent in chapter explanation. Thank you.